In the heart of the African plains, under the blazing sun of the dry season, Daniel trudged through the cracked earth, his eyes scanning the horizon. As a young wildlife volunteer, he was used to long, quiet days filled with observation and patience. But today, something drew him off the beaten path, a faint, ragged breath carried by the wind. He found it in the shadow of a withered acacia tree, a skeletal lion, its golden mane dull and patchy, eyes half closed in pain. The great beast was barely clinging to life, its ribs jutting sharply through its skin. Most animals had migrated to greener lands long ago. Protocol demanded Daniel report the sight and leave it to the professionals, but his heart refused to abandon the creature. Ignoring the rules, he knelt beside the lion, offering water and gentle words. With trembling hands, he bandaged the wounds as best he could, knowing the odds were stacked against them both. Days passed in a tense vigil, hope flickering amid exhaustion. Against all odds, the lion's breathing steadied, its eyes brighter. Daniel's desperate gamble had sparked a fragile chance at survival, a testament to courage born from compassion in the wild's unforgiving grasp. Daniel returned to the clearing each day, carrying fresh water and scraps of meat he managed to scavenge. The lion, whom Daniel named Kovu, remained cautious at first but slowly began to trust the gentle human who defied the rules to save him. Hidden by tall grasses, Daniel fed and cared for Kovu in secret, knowing any discovery could mean the end of their fragile sanctuary. Days turned into weeks. Kovu's ribs, once sharp and brittle, filled out with muscle. His eyes, once dull and lifeless, now burned with the fierce fire of a predator reborn. The bond between man and beast deepened. Daniel felt a silent understanding, a mutual respect born from survival. Yet Daniel knew the harsh truth. The dry season wouldn't last forever. Kovu's strength would return, but so would the wild's dangers. Rival lions, poachers, and the call of the wild pride waiting beyond the plains. Their stolen moments were fleeting, a secret suspended in time. Still, Daniel held on to hope. In this desperate struggle for life, both lion and volunteer found unexpected courage and a friendship that transcended their worlds. Word spread quickly among the wildlife officials. Daniel's secret care for Kovu was discovered, breaking strict rules designed to protect both humans and animals. The authorities ordered Daniel to leave the reserve immediately. On his final day, Daniel approached Kovu's resting place one last time. The lion lifted his head, eyes meeting Daniel's with a mixture of recognition and sadness. Daniel knelt, whispering soft promises he wasn't sure he could keep. He gently stroked Kovu's mane, feeling the weight of the goodbye in the heavy silence between them. As Daniel turned away, Kovu rose and followed him to the edge of the clearing, his golden gaze locked on the young man until he disappeared into the forest's shadows. Neither could know if fate would reunite them. The wild was unpredictable and their worlds were worlds apart. But in that quiet moment, a bond forged in desperation and hope lingered, unbroken by distance or time. Years passed. Daniel left the African plains behind, returning to his country to finish his studies. Driven by the memory of Kovu and the wild, he pursued a career as a wildlife filmmaker, determined to tell stories that might save animals like the lion he once saved. Though miles and time separated them, Kovu remained alive in Daniel's heart. Late at night, Daniel would often close his eyes and picture the golden mane, the fierce eyes, and the quiet strength of the lion he had once risked everything to save. He wondered if Kovu had survived the harsh seasons, if he still roamed the plains, king of his domain. The memory of their desperate encounter became Daniel's inspiration, a reminder of the fragile bond between humans and the wild, and the hope that lives on, even in the toughest of struggles. 7 years had passed since Daniel left the African plains, but the memory of Kovu never faded. Then an unexpected invitation arrived. A renowned wildlife organization asked Daniel to return to Africa to document a pride of lions gaining attention for their mysterious leader. As Daniel stepped off the plane, The familiar scent of dry earth and wild grass filled his senses. Local guides whispered stories of a scarred lion, fierce and wise, who had saved his pride from a deadly poacher attack. The lion's bravery had become legend among the villagers and rangers alike. Daniel's heart quickened. Could this lion be Kovu? The thought sent a thrill through him, mingling hope and disbelief. Armed with his camera and years of experience, Daniel set out to find the pride. Through golden plains and rocky outcrops he searched, driven by the bond that had started so many years ago with a desperate encounter. Whatever he found, Daniel knew this journey would test the limits of his courage, passion, and the enduring connection between man and beast. As the sun dipped low over the savannah, Daniel and his crew quietly set up their cameras near a watering hole. The air was thick with anticipation. This was the heart of the pride's territory. Suddenly a shadow moved at the edge of the tall grass. A massive male lion emerged, his golden mane ragged but powerful. He paused, watching them with an intensity that froze the air around them. Daniel's breath caught. Slowly he approached, heart pounding. The lion didn't flee as others might have. Instead, he held Daniel's gaze, those deep amber eyes locked onto his with a strange, haunting familiarity. The years peeled away in that moment, memories flooding back. The skeletal lion, the desperate fight for life, the bond forged in secret. Could it really be Kovu? The lion took a slow step closer, unafraid. Daniel reached out instinctively, fingers trembling, wishing to bridge the impossible distance between man and wild. The moment hung suspended, fragile, electric, and full of unanswered questions. The lion stepped forward slowly, each movement deliberate and calm. Around them, Daniel's crew tensed, whispers of panic rising as the majestic beast closed the distance. Cameras were lowered, breaths held. This was no ordinary encounter. But Daniel remained still, heart pounding with a mix of fear and hope. As the lion reached him, a soft nuzzle brushed Daniel's hand and cheek, a gentle, familiar touch that sent a shiver down his spine. It was Kovu, the lion remembered. The once starving, skeletal lion who had fought for survival now stood strong, mane thick and wild, eyes blazing with the fierce pride of a true king. His scars told stories of battles won and dangers faced, but his spirit was unbroken. Daniel felt tears sting his eyes as the bond they had forged in desperation now blossomed into undeniable recognition. Against every odd, the lion he saved had returned, majestic, powerful, and sovereign of his land. In that silent, sacred moment, man and beast spoke without words, their connection transcending time and distance, a testament to hope and unwavering courage. Over the next few days, Daniel's world shifted in ways he never imagined. Kovu allowed him to approach closer than any lion had before. The once untouchable king of the plains accepted Daniel's presence with calm confidence, an unheard-of gesture in the wild. The rest of the pride watched with cautious curiosity. Instead of fleeing or growling, the lions studied Daniel, their golden eyes reflecting intrigue rather than fear. Slowly, barriers dissolved between man and beast, their silent understanding growing stronger. Word of the remarkable bond spread quickly through nearby villages. Locals spoke in hushed tones about the young man who had saved a dying lion years ago, and how the lion, now a fierce protector, never forgot. Their story became legend, a symbol of hope and trust in a harsh world. For Daniel, every moment spent near the pride was a gift, a chance to witness the wild's raw beauty up close. The bond they shared was more than survival. It was a bridge between two worlds, reminding him that true connection can transcend even the deepest divides. Back home, Daniel poured his heart into editing the footage he captured. Intimate moments, with Kovu and his pride that no one had ever witnessed before. The story of a starving lion saved by a young volunteer, who returned years later to reclaim his kingdom, unfolded with raw emotion and breathtaking beauty. When the documentary premiered online, it quickly went viral. Millions watched in awe, as Daniel's message echoed through every frame. Every act of kindness matters, even to a lion. The world was moved by their unlikely bond. How compassion could bridge the gap between human and wild, survival and hope. Viewers from all corners rallied behind wildlife conservation, donating funds, supporting anti-poaching efforts, and demanding stronger protections for endangered animals. Daniel's story sparked a global awakening. Schools, governments, and organizations joined forces to protect habitats and raise awareness. The desperate encounter that had once seemed so small now inspired a powerful movement. Through his lens, Daniel showed that even in the harshest conditions, kindness can change lives, and sometimes it changes the world. Every year, Daniel returns to the African plains. He never touches Kovu anymore. He doesn't need to. Their bond has grown beyond the physical, rooted in respect, trust, and shared history. From a desperate encounter to an unbreakable connection, one saved life changed two worlds forever. Kovu, now the undisputed king of his pride, roams the vast savanna with strength and grace. Daniel watches from a distance, heart full, knowing their story has become a beacon of hope for wildlife everywhere. Their legacy isn't just about survival. It's about loyalty, courage, and the power of kindness to rewrite fate. Daniel's journey reminds us all. Protecting wildlife means protecting our own future. Every small act matters. Every voice counts. Join the movement. Support conservation. Because in the wild, survival is rare. But loyalty? That's a miracle. We hope you enjoyed this incredible story of trust and fate. If it touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more true stories from the wild,